What if one book could unlock the secrets of the universe? Like who God is, or what's in store for humans in the cosmos? Well, I'm starting this series about a book that totally changed how I see the universe, God, and even life itself. And that book is the Urantia Book. It's a massive 2,097 pages that was published in 1955. They claim that it was written by celestial beings, so not people, celestial beings. So in this first episode, I will I will show you what's the book and how it's important, like really how it's well divided, and also I'd say up to a certain point, the importance of it. Anyway, for my life, in my life, say it was a very important book, and I really wanted to share that with everybody. But since it's a long book, it's a pretty hefty one. I divided this series in 10 different episodes, if you want, and those episodes will come gradually, and it's not going to be too long, so you won't have to sit for hours listening to me blabbing about about the book. So I'll take different sections of the book, and I'll explain them as we go. So, okay, let's start this one. What if a book could really answer huge questions like who we are, why do we exist, and what's our role in the universe? Well, the Urantia book actually is saying this, is proposing some of those answers, anyway, the answers for that. So it came out in 1955, and it's over 2,000 pages with 196 different chapters in total. So it was written by people. It was not written by people like professors or thinkers, but it was written by celestial beings. Actually, there was a few people that were channeling, and for those who don't know what channeling is, they basically get into a meditative state, and they contacted, or those beings contacted them. They were able to talk, they were able to say what those beings were saying, and people wrote that down and got the book together. So all of this happened with the Urantia book. It happens in Chicago in the early 1900s, so from 1920 to 1930s in that area in Chicago, and those people were there for that. They were just writing down what was happening, and then they published it in 1955. The people that were actually doing the channeling, they are called the contact personality. They did not want to be known who was doing this, nor would they wanted to have any star status, if you want. They did not want to be known, and I think that's a great thing. Now, the people who contacted them, those celestial beings, they came with different names. So some were the divine counselors, they called them, the mighty messengers, also the and also so the Melchizedek was also somebody that was one of those celestial beings that was contacting them. So they said that they were sharing the message to help people to understand their spiritual purpose and place in this universe. So, like I said, 1955, they actually published it, and after putting it all into a book, and they created the Urantia Foundation, which still exists today. It's still there. And their main purpose was to, well, first create the book and make it available so people can read it. So, yeah, you can have a thick book like that. Well, if you get the physical version, of course, you're going to pay for shipping and all that jazz. But there's the PDF that is free from the Urantia Foundation, which I will, like, in all the 10 episodes that I will put here, they will be, I will put the link down there so you can actually go and access it and read it for yourself if you so choose, because that was a transformative one for me. So what's in there? Okay, so what's in this big book? Well, first off, it's divided in 4 parts. They all talk about a different area, a different subject, different big ideas, if you want, that they have. So here's the breakdown of it. So part 1, they're talking about the central and super universe, so central universe and super universe. And this part explains who God is, how the universe itself is built, and what's the divine worlds are like. Like, what are they like? And it's all about the big eternal stuff that is beyond our world. So whatever is outside our world, well, they're explaining it, how it's done, and how it's made. Now for part 2, I'll go back to my notes here. Part 2, they're talking about the local universe. So local universe, it's that part focus on our part of the universe. So basically, just our cosmic neighborhood, if you want. So it talks about how it was made, who runs it, and for example, like angels and celestial beings and all of that. So that's pretty much the explanation for our universe that we know, or well, that we know a part of anyway. The part 3 is the history of Urantia. So Urantia is in the book is the name of Earth. So when I say Urantia, it's Earth actually that we're talking about. So this section is telling us the full story of our planet, from how it was formed to how life and people evolve over time. So that's part 3. And in part 4, the life and teaching of Jesus. Now, I know a lot of you are very devout Catholics or Christians and all that, and some of you may know I am not. I am a Druid faith. But actually, I've always believed that it was more to Jesus' story than um, than what was told by the Bible or books similar to that. Somehow, it was something. There was something a little bit different to it. To me, like there was something missing. It was like, yeah, this guy is actually central to a lot of the spirituality that we have. So how come the Bible is not really pushing it too much? I felt that was not enough. And in this part 4, the life and teaching of Jesus, that's the part that dives into Jesus' life, showing him as a spiritual teacher and a divine person. So it adds details that were, in my opinion anyway, missing from well, details that were just missing to me, and it all make total sense of how it's done. So there's 196 chapters, like I said, divided by those four parts. And the book is basically a giant map of what, like, mixed ideas about God, about the universe, and the human history in its big sense. So, why was it written? The celestial authors that were like multiple, like I said before, they say that it's meant to bring together science, philosophy, and religion into one big idea. And it wants to help people to see how physical world and spiritual world connect. So it's not something that may connect, it's actually how it's actually connected. So the book is saying that it doesn't say that it has all the answers. It says it explains what it is, and really it encourages you to explore your own connection with God while learning about where you belong in this huge universe that is connected. So what's where are you in this, right? That's the main idea of the book. So the book isn't only is not the only book that is talking about, well, divine or mysterious sources. There's quite a bit, and you'll see throughout the episodes there's always parts that refers to other religions or other philosophies. So it's actually pretty interesting as it encompasses everything. The other book that actually is kind of like that, you have the Sacred Doctrine by Ellen Blavatsky, and it uses Eastern spiritual tradition, really. So, and there's another one, A Course in Miracles. That's another book that it's a spiritual book actually. That was written in the 1900s. They also said that it was channeled. So, like those books, Urantia Book is not really different, but it attracts people who want answers that are beyond what religion actually can offer, because they're, in my opinion anyway, kind of limited in some cases. And that explores the part that makes us actually believe in that religion that we want to follow. There's no good or bad, no better or worse religion. It's actually, a religion is something that attracts you, and in this religion you have all the ideas that will help you grow spiritually. That's basically what it is. And the Urantia book is kind of bringing all those together. That's how I see it anyway. So maybe you'll have a different idea when you read it, if you read it, and if you do, be sure to share. Like, honestly, share those ideas. I love those discussions, as some of you may know. I love those discussions for sure, especially on their Fridays, right? Some of you know about that one. All right, so the Urantia book tries to answer some of humanity's big questions. It gives a huge picture of where we come from and why we're here, and where we're going to. And that's another one that's very interesting, in my opinion. It's not only about, oh, this is from the past and that's it. No, it actually gives us a good idea of where we are going with all this. So from its mysterious starts, where it says celestial beings shared it, to the detailed 4 parts setup, it pushes the reader to actually think about God, the universe, and you're rolled into it. And could this book actually really help us understand our place in the cosmos? Maybe. That's something that is actually, anyway, it's worth thinking about. So you can imagine the young me when I was in school. I was in Cégep at the time, and this teacher said, "Hey, you." After we were talking for a while, anyway, he was saying like, "Hey, you seem like a guy that would pretty much you would enjoy a book like this." And he showed me the book, and I got into it, and that's pretty much that. And that's why I'm presenting it to you guys here in the hopes that it might help some of you figure things out. And, well, we'll give you something to read, that's for sure. For a bit, because you can't read this one in one shot. It's just not possible. Okay, so this is the first part. So join us next time for episode 2, where we'll explore what Urantia Book says about God. So until then, keep looking, and be sure to click like, share, subscribe, even the bell if you want to be notified when I'll be posting the episode 2, which should not be too long. So take care, guys, and, well, see you next time.